Hello and welcome to the world of Matthias. Today we're going to talk about this fantastic guitar. Now this is a real European classic. This is Höfner's answer to the J45 or the Hummingbird, the Gibson Hummingbird. So this is a dreadnought guitar. It's called the Höfner 489. It was produced between 1968 and 1992, I think. Now these guitars, they don't have any serial numbers. They are very hard to date. But from 68 to 72, they have round shoulders. And this one has a square shoulder. So this one I know is later than 72. I think this is around the middle of the 70s or late 70s, based on the condition and the label inside here. It's a spruce top, it's laminated mahogany back and sides. It's a maple neck on this one. I think they could come with both mahogany and maple necks, but I think that this is a maple neck. We will have a little closer look at that because I have some great ideas for this. It actually sounds really nice, and I will show you that later in the video. So I'm really excited about this. I paid $70 for this guitar, and from what I have been able to research on the internet, that was actually quite cheap for this kind of model. Yeah, what makes this special? Well, for once it's a Höfner, so it's a well-known brand. It's a vintage guitar and I really like that. But it also has some nice features that you don't see in any other guitar. So you might say that it has been a little bit of an over-engineering going on here. The neck is actually detachable, so you can take off the neck. You do that using a little screw inside this hole here. That also enables you to adjust the angle of the neck, and that way you can change the string height. It also has something really unique and nice, which is quite common in Höfner instruments, and it's a 0 fret. And I really like that. It contributes to a nice tone in the guitar, and also it makes the string height here on the nut side really low. Nice looking head. It has wings here on the sides, just like a Gibson. These tuners, they look old and tattered, but they are really nice feeling. It's a genuine Höfner and it's made in West Germany. So if anything else, we know that this guitar is made between 72 and 1990. Black binding, both on the front and on the back. Rosewood fretboard and a rosewood bridge. And it also has a truss rod. It's a Gibson style, so with a brass nut. Since this is a 70s or maybe even an 80s guitar, this has a poly lacquer on it. And I'm not fond of that, not on an acoustic guitar. So I'm going to remove the lacquer on the guitar and repaint it in a nitro finish. I think that that will make this guitar feel a lot better and also maybe ring a little better, sound a little better. I'm also going to install a pickup in the guitar, but not any old pickup. I will install a P90 pickup with a volume and a tone here. And also I'm thinking of doing something here on the bridge and maybe put in a ABR bridge so you can adjust it. But we will see where this project takes us. Let's put it on the workbench and go ahead and start working on this guitar. Alright, so the first thing we have to do is obviously to remove the strings. And now let me show you how you can attach the neck. You're losing this screw here, and then it's just a matter of pulling it backwards, like so. And it looks like this. You have a metal plate here, which attaches to a hook here. And that hook is the one that you adjust with the screw here. And this pickguard here, it is not very good, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that. I don't think that I can save it. But let's start with taking off the finish. I can use some heat and a scraper. Let's start with that. I just have to be very careful here on the edges with the binding. So as you can see, we are already coming through here. This seems to have a flamed maple back, but if you look at the wood grains, no, not so much. So we will see how this looks when we have stripped it from the lacquer. Alright, so now the lacquer is all gone. I did save this on the back of the headstock just because there are Höfner decals and so on. And I also didn't take off this because this seems to be veneer, not just sprayed. So I'm going to go with that. You can see that it in fact is a maple neck. The body became very nice. This is the shade of the old pickguard. I'm not too worried about that. I'm going to put another pickguard there. You can see the rosette here, very nice. So I think the next step now is to route out for the ABR bridge here. I want the ABR bridge for two reasons. One, to be able to adjust the strings a little bit more. And two, because when I put in the P90, I need to ground that to something. And I thought about different solutions to do that. But I think that a metal bridge here on the wooden bridge, that's the best option. How is the best way to do this? Well, I guess the best way is simply to route out for the bridge here and also take away some material here so that I can adjust it. So I'm just going to mark it out. Either I'll route it or I just use the chisel. That's the ABR bridge inside the bridge. It was not that hard to do. You can see here, did it by hand this time. Just made sure to make it go all the way in. So let's do something a little bit different. I have sprayed the guitar on the backside with nitro lac, dark rich mahogany. Yeah, it gives it a really nice color. And but I thought that on the front here, let's do something a little bit more fun. So I'm going to dye this top with a black dye from nitro lac. So the first thing we have to do is to tape off the rosette and also the bridge here. So let's do that. Yeah, so I put on some strings to adjust the neck and so on, and it all works fine. I didn't align the bridge here quite as good as I wanted it. So I'm thinking about just filing the bridge saddles down here and make new slots so the strings won't move. But now it's time to think about how we're going to put in the pickup. And I have the pickup here. So this is the pickup I'm going to be using. This will be a P90 inside the sound hole. And then I'm going to put on volume knob and a tone knob. I just have to figure out how this pickup is going to sit here behind the strings in the sound hole. So let me just think a little bit about that and see what we come up with. So let me just show you here on the bridge. You can see that I have just filed down some new slots here. Yeah, I don't want it to be like that. So I'm going to file down these bridge saddles here. So they are without slots, and then I'm going to do new slots in them. Yeah, that's what happens when you rush things, but we will fix it. Yeah, so I think I'm going to go with this simple solution. This is just some plywood parts that I have from some scrap wood. I'm going to attach it like so. These two are small, they go here, just to create a distance here. And this one goes underneath them, like so. And then the pup goes on top of that, like so. and I will glue it in, and then I'm going to have millimeter screws here to adjust the pickup. So I think that that will work. So let's just start by gluing these together. Yeah, so what I think I'll do here is I will drill some holes here on the back side of this, and I will put in this nut here, and I will glue it in, and then I will be able to adjust the pickup from the other side. I think that that will work. Yeah, it will. But before we attach this, I want to do the buttons here and solder it, because I have better access then. And we have to make an earth wire here as well to this bridge. I just put a wire here under the bridge and put the bridge over that. And then we have a volume, and we have a tone pot. Okay, so now it's time to put in the last bit of the electronics, and it's this output jack. And it can be very hard to put in the output jacks on an acoustic guitars, especially now when I have glued in the mic here. So I can't get my arm inside the sound hole. But I will show you a tip on how you can do it quite easy actually. But before we start, we have to enlarge in the hole, and we will do that with a reamer. So what you can do is, you have the cables here, and you want to get them to the back of the guitar here. I have one of these. It's just a stiff stick with a small hole here. It's actually something that I got from an IKEA bookshelf on the back. And then you just put it in the back so you can see it here. And then it's just a matter of threading it inside the hole here, pushing it through a bit, and then just pull it through like that. And then we can solder. And there we go. So now it's just a matter of checking the sound of the guitar. Let's see how a P90 sounds in an acoustic guitar. It looks awesome, I think, but it has to sound nice as well. This was a very fun build. I've never put electric pop inside an acoustic guitar, and yeah, I think it turned out really great. And this goes to show that you can do something really nice even with cheap stuff. I only used things that I had at home, and I love these kind of projects that you can do. Just use what you have home. It doesn't have to cost much money. It's just fun to do it. And this one turned out great. I think the guitar looks great. It feels great because it's nitro. Also, it sounds pretty good. And now I can intonate here with the ABR1, and yeah, a fun build. That was all for today. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye bye.